I. It's funny. It used to tell me that I'm live, but let me just refresh because I think we are.
I think we are too, because last time we got a Facebook notification that we were live. So
Yeah. So let me just refresh again. See, it's not telling me that I am. So hang on. Uh, oh gosh, this is embarrassing. You know what? There you are. I think we are right. I saw you walk out, so I think we're live. Okay. You know what? Let's just do it. I think we're live, Fee.
sounds
So,
good to me.
okay. So, good afternoon, everybody. Coming to you live. I'm in Chicago for a few days. Got here last night, and things seem to happen whenever I'm away, whether
Yeah,
I'm
everything
outside.
seems to be. Yeah, like they like to update stuff while you're gone, so you gotta be on your toes.
It's like, how are we gonna do this? Because
Yeah.
when we talked about let's do a live session earlier, I said, you know what, I gotta go, I gotta do something, I gotta see the city. Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh!
I
All
heard
right, you know what?
you got a good lunch, right?
Yes, we did. Just really quick before we talk about the meat and potatoes. Look at me, still talking about food. From Midway, Hyatt Place to the city. I'd say at about 35, 40-minute train ride. We took a couple of trains and then we walked to the Intercontinental. I'm here right now. I'm actually here on the living room section of the junior suite.
It looks pretty.
Yeah, there is another door back there leading you to the bedroom. So, and then there's a fridge back here. So I think right there, somewhere behind me. So, all right, you know what? Let's just. I want to make sure. I think we're live. Yeah. So let's go to the heart of this. So, Fee, will I catch my breath? Do you mind introducing yourself and what we're
Yeah,
here to do? Will I catch my breath?
yeah, of course. My name is Fee. I run Untold Miles. We have a huge Facebook following. We got 22,000 people. I'm on Instagram. We have our own website, untoldmiles.com. Uh, Jason and we share a lot of common things. We both love traveling. We love traveling for free, especially for free, using credit card points that we've accumulated. And we both love Hawaii. That's how kind of how we met. We are with our love of credit cards and our love of Hawaii. And ever since we've been just kind of working to get together with these live sessions, trying to help other people join the game.
That's right. That's it. It's funny when you said we both love Hawaii, because this Chicago thing was really spontaneous, right? We were thinking. I told my wife, maybe let's just go to Hawaii. She goes, let's not go to Hawaii again. We both love Hawaii, but let's not go to Hawaii again.
I,
So, but
same.
I know that we're gonna have to book Hawaii again sometime next year. There's always room and time for Hawaii, and I know that you and your family are heading there again, right? Next month on your birthday, right?
We're not
And
week actually. We're leaving next week. Yeah,
is it
we're
next
leaving.
week already? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh! Oh my
already.
god! Oh my gosh! That's really happening so quickly. Which I think, you know what, we're gonna hold that thought because these trips that this is what, your third trip this year to Hawaii?
Oh, to Hawaii or Kauai?
Oh, to
Which
Hawaii period. To Hawaii period this
Hawaii
year.
did probably my sixth trip. I mean, we've done 29 days in Hawaii this year alone.
Oh
So
my God.
many trips to Hawaii.
Yeah,
So, but I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I currently live in Phoenix, Arizona. We're a desert, so it's a lot. It's a nice place to visit because we don't have a lot of that greenery and water here. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
it's different than being in LA. You got tons of great beaches, right?
Ooh, we have options, right? Right. Yeah. And the reason why I thought I'd spend a couple of minutes on Hawaii is because Fee, with these couple of new, not new, but a couple of credit cards that have been around, but they have new offers. Um, those bonus points that you will earn from these cards have been your gateway, that help push you and your family to take these trips, especially to places like Hawaii, right?
Lovely.
And I want to make sure that we paint that picture. So let's get to the heart of it. I mean, I'll say a little something, and please, feel free to I mean, I'll pause in a little bit here. But last night, actually, you know what? For the past couple of days, we've been hearing about this 90,000 bonus points offer with a couple of Chase business cards. There is a product called Chase Inc. Business Cash, Chase Inc. Business Unlimited. Those are the two cards with the 90,000 bonus offer. There is another Inc. card, and we can talk about that a little bit. It's a Chase Inc. Business Preferred. That one, the offer is still the same, which is 100,000, and we won't spend a lot of time on that. But I wanted to make sure that you guys are all aware that there are three different Inc. business cards with Chase, and the one that we're going to be focusing on this afternoon are the Inc. Cash and the Inc. Unlimited. Fee, do you want to say something about these offers, maybe the annual fee and what those bonus points? I think it'll be good how you and I have used it, as far just like the way that you and I talked about the Amex Platinum a couple of weeks ago. What were the things that resonated to me and you? Because I think that's how people tend to associate. Oh yeah, I can do that too. So let's do that. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess in terms of the offers, we have two brand or not brand new, but two brand new offers on these two Inc. cards. We have the Chase Inc. Business Cash and the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited. Sorry, I had to slow myself down because I'm like, are we on Facebook or are we on Instagram now?
Right,
Because
exactly. That's why I
yeah,
said, what, let's do Instagram later.
yeah.
We can talk whatever we want here.
But anyway, these two cards, they are the bread and butter of the Inc. family of cards because they have zero annual fees and they have great offers in terms of bonus points. So right now there is an elevated offer of 90,000 points, and I would value them on at a minimum around $1,100. Of course, you can get much higher value out of that transferring it to partners such as Hyatt. But
Very good.
yeah, what I love about it is it's a no annual fee card. You have zero investment, and there's only all gains, right? You're gaining welcome bonuses, you're gaining all that spend that you can for those multipliers. Um, I specifically like the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited as a substitute for the Chase Freedom Unlimited because
Mhm.
the welcome bonus is so much nicer and it does the same thing.
Right, right,
And
right.
yeah,
And I think if you could share as well, Fee. I mean, I know that it's an elevated offer, but if you can help differentiate for everybody, uh, this is the offer right now, and this was the offer before. This is the spend right now, and this was the spend before, so that they can see the value of how great of an offer this is.
oh man, what was the spend for?
No,
Um,
it was 7,500, right?
yeah, it
Uh,
was for and then yeah, the so I mean honestly, do you mind refresh me on those two?
Sure. No worries. So the on the Ink Cash and the Ink Unlimited, prior to the elevated offers, the minimum spent on those cards, you have to spend a minimum of $7,500 within 3 months on,
For
bo-
70,
on each of those cards, right? On
yeah,
each of those cards.
so it's five
But
thousand.
um, but the new one, how much do they need to spend with this 90,000 bonus offer?
Oh yeah, with the new one, they not only did they increase the welcome offer to 90K, they actually also decreased the
Yeah.
threshold you meet it. So
Right.
now you have to spend $6,000 within a 3 month period to get the 90,000 points, which is amazing to me because I would have been fine with it if they increased the offer and increased the
Yeah.
requirement, but
Yeah.
they're increasing the offer and decreasing the requirement. So to me, on top of it being a no annual fee card, it's a no brainer. If you don't have it, get it.
Right.
I
Right.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
an in the inks in a very very long time. People seldomly talk about ink offers going up. We always hear the Chase Sapphire Reserve, Chase Sapphire Preferred offers going up, but the inks have been kind of on the back burner for a long time. So this is pretty exciting news.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think we really need to, keep that differentiation in mind because again, not only are you having to spend less, like $1,500 less, if you were to apply for one of those cards, but you are getting. Help me with the math. Another, is it 15,000 points more? Yeah, 15,000 points more because it was 75,000 bonus points. Now it's 90,000 bonus points. And I know that people asked this earlier. It's marketed as a cash back. So 90,000 is equal to $900 cash back. But those cash back really also comes in equivalent of how many Chase Ultimate Rewards with that.
For
That
the 90
for the
thousand.
90,
Yeah.
right, exactly, right. And so you can actually use those points, and if you have cards like what, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, Chase Sapphire Preferred, what else earn ultimate
For
rewards?
the Chase Ink Business Preferred for transferring.
Right, right, right,
Yeah. So
right,
with any of those three cards that we just talked about, the Sapphire Reserve, Sapphire Preferred, or the Chase Ink Business Preferred, you can transfer your points to partners and utilize much higher or get much higher value. Um,
right,
and I mean, I've gotten multiple of these ink cards over the span of my time in the credit card game. My player two has multiple, and they are a great way to boost your chase points because you can get them every 24 months. And
right,
as no annual fee card, it just is a no brainer for me. And it's a lot of people ask, what should my next card be? I have a Sapphire card. Where should I go next? I
right,
most likely will point them towards a Chase Ink business card because the offers are just so lucrative.
right. But I always get asked this, and I'm sure you do too,
Yeah.
right? And so you and I lead a very good healthy group
Hmm.
groups, two different groups, with you having over 20,000 followers. We always get asked, do I need a business to apply for a business card? And this is my answer to that. A You need to have an income generating venture. You can't just say I have a business, but if there's no income basically, if you're generating income but the income is coming from your place of employment and you're getting a regular paycheck for that, to me that's not a business because that's your regular W-2 job. If I'm that's the way I envision that. But if you have something on the side, and I think people, when we say business card, they're thinking that they need to be owning like an ice cream shop or a little candy store or whatever, or a little hardware store. You don't need to have employees, but maybe let's just spend some time. And again, this is not to give you ideas as far as, well, tomorrow I'm going to be an Uber driver tomorrow. We're not saying to do
Yeah.
that, but maybe let's throw in some basic ideas, like folks who never thought that they had a business, but they were able to apply. what types of ventures have you heard people do to apply for a business card?
Yeah, I mean, just to preference this, people really need to step away from their conventional ideas of what a business is. Especially now in 2022, there are so many people starting a small business. There's so many ventures that you can go into that, 5, 10 years ago, you wouldn't even consider that a business, right? You wouldn't even be like, oh, that's a side business. Like, so just kind of start thinking about loosely what is considered a business, right? It's just
Mhm.
something extra that you're bringing on top of your regular income. There's nothing that you need to provide to banks like Chase to verify, hey, I got this from the government, this from the state to prove that I'm business. They don't need any of that. As long as you're applying as a sole proprietor, which means that you're using just your social security number and your legal name, that's all you need. You don't need to provide your LLC, an EIN. You don't need to provide anything else because in terms of your business, you are the business as a sole proprietor. So some examples that people have used. So for when I first started, I started the credit card game in college, and I'm like, I want to get a business card. What can I possibly put on this application that would still tie me loosely enough to a business to apply? So, I did some photography here and there in college. I didn't really get paid much, but I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and apply. So I put down, I put down zero as my business income because, I didn't really make anything, and I got approved. I got approved to low credit limit, but I still got approved for my first business card. And what did I provide to Chase? My legal first and last name and my social, and that's all.
Right.
I know people have sold stuff on Facebook, on Craigslist. If you've dog sit, house sit, nanny, literally anything where someone's paying you for a product or service, that's not your main job, right? If you make crafts, if you sell food on the weekends, I don't know, you know what I mean? That's literally
Right.
so many that can fall into the category of a business.
Right. And I think what folks are also skeptical is, um, if I do apply for a credit card, uh, let's say your photography business, as you had mentioned when you first applied, does that mean I can only use this credit card for a camera or a lens cleaner
Yeah.
or a tripod or whatever? And so I know of many folks who, including myself, a credit card is a credit card that once you're approved for that card, again, you can use it solely for the business. That's perfectly fine, but you can also use it for many other things that does not have to do something with the business. And
Yeah.
so you will not be flagged at Home Depot. Let's say you have a photography business and you end up buying lumber at Home Depot. Home Depot will not stop you from saying, "Wait a minute, you're a photographer. How come you're buying a piece of wood?" You know, they're not going to do that, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but what do you say about that? As far as
Yeah. I mean, so technically speaking, in the Chase terms of service, I think they do say that it's supposed to be solely used for your business, but in practice, and I'm speaking from, my personal experience as well as my experience of being in, the world of credit cards. People have used business cards for both personal and business expenses, or even just personal expenses, and there has never been a case where that I've read or experienced that they've been flagged by Chase and got any sort of review or shutdown, because no one at Chase is going to sit down and go through every single one of your transaction and be like, could this be a business transaction, because there's, like I said, there's so many businesses out there, right? If you're buying food, maybe you own a restaurant, and then the next person's buying lumber for construction, how are they going to sit down and go through all these transactions and flag someone? So
Right.
there's you can safely use your business card for whatever expenses you want.
Right, right. Let's also talk to them, Fee, about, okay, so I am Jason. I've never applied for a business card, but I know that I have been teaching guitar lessons on the side. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that I am, going from house to house, or someone comes over and I teach him or her guitar lessons, and that's my business. Okay, great. So what will Jason call his business when he applies for a credit card? And so this is what I would do. Again, you are applying as a sole proprietor, and when you apply for your business credit card, you are using your social security number. And so when you apply for your business credit card, because it's going to ask you for your name, your typical information. It's going to ask you for your date of birth, your address, your phone number, your email, your social security number. It's also going to ask you like a tax ID number. But as Fee had mentioned, just use your social security number, right? And when it comes to business name, instead of you coming up with something on the fly, again, I'm talking about the guitar lessons, instead of calling it Jason's Music Store as the business name,
Mm-hmm.
I would just call it with my full name,
Yep.
which is, let's say, Jason Francisco. And so just use your full name. No need to call it Fee's Photography Studio. No need to call it Baked by Maddie. Just use your name as your
Yeah.
business name, and
And
that's perfectly fine.
yeah, and a lot of people ask why, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I want to have my business name on there. I mean, so here's the thing. There's an easy way to get a business card, and then there's the more roundabout and longer way to get a business card. The way that Jason and I are talking about, applying as a sole proprietor with your first name on, or your first and last name only. Don't put doing business as just first and last name and social. That's the way to get a business card as quickly and simply as possible. If you put anything else on there, if you put your first, last name, and LLC, or literally anything else, they're gonna make you send in documentation. And a lot of people are fine with that. And if you're fine with that, then that's a route that you can definitely take. Jason and I were just talking about the most efficient way to get a
Right.
business.
Right. There's somebody over in Daddy Travels group who recently applied for a Southwest business card, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to name her, but you guys are more than welcome to filter through the one of the Southwest posts. And she didn't tell me the nature of the business, but I think all she said was she was making like $1,000 per month or something. And again, I didn't ask what she does, but it does not have to be a Bill Gates, a Facebook, an Amazon level kind of a business. No, it does not have to be anything like that. And so the thing is, just be honest, because in case that someone asks you, and trust me, there are times when let's say your application is on hold, or they need more information, and it might come to a point where you're faced with a decision that you might have to call and follow up. There are questions that they might ask about, because I remember being asked, what was it with this last one? I think one of my very first one is, how do you promote your business, etc. And so just how do you make, what was this, make money with the business. I mean, I think those were the basic questions. And so they didn't ask me about the number of employees or anything like that, but pretty straightforward as far as how you generate income or revenue for the
Mhm.
business, in case you were asked. Have you ever had to call Chase ever on any of your or business card applications?
Yeah, I have had to call Chase to check on my application because it was taking a little bit longer than I'm used to, right? I'm not always getting instant approvals, and that's pretty common with Chase cards in terms of business cards. Whether you're a new applicant or you've had a couple cards already with them, sometimes it just takes a while. And so I did call in. I called the automated line to check the status of my application, and it transferred me directly to a Chase representative. And the questions that they asked me were almost exactly the questions that were on the application, right? So like, what kind of business are you opening? How long have you been in business and stuff like that. I think it was just more of a verification call to ensure that someone else isn't opening a card under my name with my information. So after they verified all that information, they just instantly approved me over the phone. So most of my phone calls um, with representatives after I've applied have been pretty similar in that nature, and they don't really deviate off the questions that you get from the applications. What about you, Jason? Have you had to call?
Right. Yeah, I have, and as I had mentioned, I think it was more along the lines of um, because I've had to apply for a similar card, and they've asked, you know, I think it's I'm trying to think now because it's with one of the questions was um, just like you like what is the nature of the business, and again, how do you what was it how do you generate or how do you promote the business, um, and also I was not asked about anything about employees or anything like that, but it was nothing like to your point, it was nothing outside of the realm of the application. And
Yeah, I grill
go
you. I
ahead.
think they're just verify information.
Right, 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 right. And in cases where because I've been a repeat customer quite a few times on some of the business credit cards, one of the things that I like to throw in there is, especially with my last two credit cards. I remember last year we were in New York City, me and Nancy,
Hmm.
and I don't know why, but I seem to know that while I can see the caller ID, it didn't say Chase, but for some reason I seem to be picking up calls that belong to Chase. Like I had a feeling that I needed to pick up the phone call, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we were just asked about again about following up on the credit card application, and I think we just threw in a little extra, kind of like to make them realize that we are existing customers, good paying customers. We've got a relationship, and I said, we have a huge expense coming up because of the holidays, and we do know of a good offer from Chase at this point, and so we might as well utilize a brand new credit card. And I remember mentioning that, and the lady appreciated that. And within a few minutes, again, from I don't want to say that the account was held, but from that inquiry or after that conversation, the credit card was approved. You know.
Yeah. Anytime you're on the phone with a representative, you're essentially just trying to sell yourself as a customer. Why should they give this card to you?
Right.
Whether on call or one of these calls, that's kind of just sell yourself, right? Another question I get often is, can I get multiple Chase Inc. cards, right?
Yes.
So,
Let's talk about that.
so within the Chase Inc. family, there's actually 4 Inc. cards now.
Oh yeah,
But
I forgot about the other one. That's right. Thank you.
yeah, the Inc. Premier is a new card, but I personally don't like that card, and I don't really talk about it because I don't think it benefits my members at all. It could be right for some people, but for most of the people playing the credit card game, it's not really a good fit. And just quickly on why, the points that you earn with the Ink Premier are not transferable. So
Right.
you can't transfer it to, one of the Sapphires and go book a Hyatt. You can only use the portal, and there's nothing wrong with the portal. Don't get me wrong, but to maximize value, the way that I like to play the game, I like to transfer out. So that for me
Absolutely.
is not doesn't fit my portfolio. Um, but Chase Inc. Business Unlimited, which earns 1.5 times points per dollar on all your purchases, no matter what, which is essentially the business version of the Chase Freedom Unlimited, but with a better welcome offer. The Chase Inc. Cash, which is a workhorse for a lot of people in the points game, because one of our favorite things is it earns 5 times points at office supply stores, up to $25,000 per card member year. So if you are able to maximize that category, you're generating 125,000 points a year for a no annual fee card, right? That's
Yeah.
just that's just crazy value for me. That's a week in Kauai for me every year.
Exactly.
Um, and then the Chase Inc. Business Preferred, that's their $100,000 or 100,000 point offer with the $15,000 spend. So it's kind of a higher requirement. Um,
Right.
but we're not talking about that card today. We're just sticking with the Chase Inc. Cash and Chase Inc. Unlimited. So
Exactly.
if you
Right.
have those cards, you're still eligible for any of the other Inc. cards. Um, as of right now, there is no eligibility requirements for you to not have an Inc. card before you can get another one like the Sapphires. So if you have the Chase Inc. Cash, you can get the unlimited. If you have the limited, you can get the cash, or whatever combination you want. Um, and also, I think another question that comes up often, Jason, is if you've had one of the cards in the past, like for example, you had a Chase Inc. Cash you opened 5 years ago, can you get the welcome bonus again? Do you want
Right.
to take? Or you want me to take it?
Sure, absolutely. No, that's a very good question because just like Fee and I, we are or we have been an existing Chase Inc. customers, and again, with the exception of the Inc. Premier, um, between and Fee, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure you've had both Inc. Cash, Inc. Unlimited, and Inc. Business Preferred, all three, right?
I
And was that a yes?
Yeah, I have all three. I'm actually working on my second Ink Preferred.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah. Same here. I'm working on my ink preferred as well. So not only can you have all three cards, but you can also reapply and get another bonus on all three cards. But there is a requirement couple of requirements that you have to meet. A, you have to be under 524. And again, guys, we keep talking about this. And again, I became a victim of this about a month or two ago. 524 are the number of credit cards you've applied for in the past 24 months, not only Chase cards, but any credit card, personal credit cards, etc., and even some business credit cards, like business credit cards with Capital One, TD Bank, and Discover. Those three business cards will add to your 524 count. I'm sure Fee in his blog untoldmiles.com, and I also have a 524 rule blog entry that covers the different scenarios as to what does count towards your 524. Because if you applied for, let's say you open five cards in the past 24 months, exactly five cards, and you say, oh my gosh, there's a new offer for 90K. If you pick up your phone or go to your computer and apply, I can almost guarantee you that you will be auto declined, or you might not get declined automatically, but you'll be declined within the next day because Chase will know that you've opened five or more credit cards in the past 24 months, no matter your relationship with Chase. no matter your long-standing relationship, your great payment history, but it's all about how many cards you've opened within the past 24 months. So that's one of the criteria. So let's say you're under 524, right? Which means that you're qualified. So let's say you want to apply for the Chase Ink Unlimited. The only way, let me take a step back. Let's say you want to reapply for the Chase Ink Unlimited because you currently already have the Chase Ink Unlimited today. How do you know that you are qualified or unqualified? You have to know the when you receive the bonus on that card, has it been 24 months or greater? Because if it's only been under 24 months, even if you're just tap dancing close to the 24th month, I can tell you today that you will be denied. So it's got to be 24 months or greater. Fee, have you seen anyone? I don't want to say challenge, but let's say their 24th month is today. Have you seen anyone actually apply on the 24th month itself, or maybe the day after the 24th month? Have you seen anyone like that? I think I have,
Yeah,
but
I
I don't see data points.
so I don't know if the 24-month rule is as strict as the
Yeah.
524 rule. I know a lot of credit card experts and bloggers like us recommend 24 month because
Mhm.
sometimes I've heard that Chase does sneak in a 24-month language into their terms and conditions. And that's where I think this 24
Right.
month from, but it's not necessarily always there. So I have heard of people who were successful in getting multiple inks of the same inks in a shorter amount of window than the 24 month. And is there anything wrong with that? No, in my opinion. It's just riskier behavior in
Right.
terms of higher chances of getting denied, and higher chances of getting your account looked at by Chase. So I you know I think the 24-month rule is a great rule of thumb and something to keep in mind. I know there's so many rules, there's so many little and rules to keep track of, and that's why Jason and I are here. We keep track of all these rules for you. We continue to educate you guys on them, to hope in hopes that you guys gain from it. So in terms of 24-month rule, I would say great rule of thumb to stick to because
Right.
there are multiple options. It's not just one option, right? You can get any of the other inks. So I would stick to that. And if you feel like you want to go outside of that rule and apply in a short amount of window, be my guest and let us know how.
Absolutely. Let us
Let,
know. Absolutely. I think that's really the key because, especially, I mean, there are those, you know what? Oh, the offer, let's say, is going to end next week. And my 24th month is like 3 weeks from now, meaning that
yeah,
they will miss the cutoff. You know what? Would Jason apply? Not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna be so tempted to
yeah,
challenge Chase, and maybe they'll decline me, and I'll try and go call recon,
yeah,
maybe like 2 weeks later. I don't know. I mean, but I think to Fee's point, by all means, you're more than welcome to try it. And again, this is all about sharing what we know has worked and has not worked for
yeah.
most folks, right? But definitely the 524 rule is. Did I tell you, Fee, the last time I had an issue with Chase about a month and a half ago? This was the first time I actually heard a rep mention the 524 rule. She did
Really?
not. She did not say we have a 524. She did not say that. But I can almost tell you. This is the one from about a month and a half ago when I had that little fiasco.
Yeah.
She did allude to the 5 cards in 24 months.
I think I know that they beat around the bush. They don't want to explicitly say
Yeah.
524,
Hmm.
but they'll say, you've signed up for more than 5 cards in the past, 2 years or 24 months, like something like that, right? So I have heard of that. I've heard of people sharing the same thing you're sharing now.
Right.
But like I said, it's an unpublished rule, right? It's
Right.
it's just and again, I mean, I'll deviate just a little bit. The credit card community, all these rules, all these things that we know have been built up by people before us. This whole community is based on data point. Right?
Right.
There's no credit card rule Bible that existed before us. It's people that came and figured it out through
Right.
crowdsourcing. And
Right.
that's how we can be here today, be like, this is, a rule because the hundreds of these other people have ran into the same issue and reported it, right? So that.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, we are basically, again, sharing again what worked and what
Mhm.
has not worked. And I always tell folks, for me, I just, I think I even mentioned that on my post today, tread lightly because Chase is one of those institutions that I would really like to remain BFFs with, you know,
Absolutely.
which right? Which actually leads to a very good question from Jing. I don't know if you can see that. If I
I
want to apply for both, she's asking, how long should I wait in between? You want to take that, and I'll share my thoughts too. So
Yeah, so
let's say you apply for the in cash first, or
okay,
actually, let me ask you this: which one would Fee apply for first?
that's a good question. If I It depends, right? It depends on what your goals are with these cards, because how I see credit cards are, they're different tools, right? You wouldn't use a hammer for something you'd use a screwdriver for, and vice versa, right? So the Chase Ink Cash and the Chase Ink Unlimited are two very unique cards. If you want to have something to replace or to take, to replace the Chase Freedom Unlimited, I would get the Chase Ink Unlimited because that's a great everyday catch-all card. It's a great card for you to, if you don't like to think about, oh, what card do I need to use to maximize my purchases? If you want 1.5 times points on literally everything you buy, that's a great option. That's a great
Yep.
card to have. Go with that one. If you want to take the time and effort to learn how to maximize um, buying gift cards from office supply stores, or if you have a business that does a lot of advertising, right? Um, Staples, Office Depot, they're going to be your go-to for
Yeah.
those supplies. So the Chase Ink Cash is going to be great for those who can utilize office supply stores because you're earning 5 times points up to $25,000 per card member a year. So
Right.
different tools for your credit card portfolio. So for me, I would get the Chase Ink Cash because I am very well versed in
Yep.
utilizing
Same.
Staples for gift cards, right?
Right.
So just to go a little bit into detail for those who are curious, right? Um, Staples and Office Depot have sales on gift cards. For example, Staples will have no fee on their gift cards, like a Visa gift card. Sometimes it's a $200 denomination. We'll buy a $200 gift card.
Mhm.
I'll earn 5 times points on that, right? And I'm gonna turn around and use that gift card on a transaction where I wouldn't have earned 5 times points. For example, I need to go pay my mechanic, right? If I use that same Chase Ink Cash, I'm only going to get 1 times points. But if I pay him with that Visa that I just got from Staples that I got 5 times points on, it's in essence, I'm getting 5 times points at that mechanic shop. So
Right.
that's a very basic, simple idea of how I would use that Chase Ink Cash. So that's what I would pick. What about you, Jason?
No, absolutely. I mean, to your point, especially right now, it's property tax time,
Oh yeah,
right? It's property tax time.
yeah.
So, um, if you have, let's just say, for instance, I mean, the what is the minimum spend 6,000. So let's just
Yeah.
pretend for a moment that your property tax is $6,000. Okay, and you're looking for a credit card to apply for, and you're deciding between the Ink Cash and the Ink Unlimited. If you were to use one of those credit cards to pay for your property taxes, if you use the Ink Cash, which is really the card, as we had stated, a great card for office supply store. Well, if you use the Ink Cash to pay your property tax, it will not earn 5 points per dollar. So your 6,000 points will not be 30,000 ultimate rewards, because your county tax is not an office supply store. But again, just using the property tax as an example, if you use your Ink Unlimited, and Fee, correct me if I'm wrong here, if you use your Ink Unlimited and pay your property taxes, you will earn 1.5 points per dollar on the $6,000 minimum. Let's say your property tax is $6,000, so you will earn, is it 7,500 points? Is
Whatever.
that um,
Right?
when you multiply 6 times 1.5, what is that?
Yeah.
Um, 7,500 points, is it?
I got nine. Like it's 6,000 times 1.5 at
Yeah, is it
9,000.
nine? Yeah, see, I've been walking around, so 9,000. So there you go. So again, a clear difference, because if you use your Ink Cash to pay for the property tax, you're only going to end up with 6,000
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
But if you use the Ink Unlimited, because the Ink Unlimited always earns 1.5 points per dollar, then you
Yeah.
will now have earned 9,000 points. So going back to that question that I asked Fee, which one would he apply for first? Again, Fee answered it politically, and really the proper way is, what do I have a need for?
Yeah.
Is it an everyday purchase, or am I going to be using this for office supply purchases at Staples or Office Depot, for instance? And so there is, I don't want to say there's no wrong answer, but there's always a better answer based on your individual need,
I
right?
think I think that if you're new to the credit card game, or you don't want to put in a lot of time and effort in right now, the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited is probably the best choice for you, because you don't have to think about what card to pull out of your wallet, right?
Yeah, it's
Know
always
that
1.5, right?
that's the one that's gonna get you there on a daily basis as an everyday spending card to generate you those points.
Absolutely, absolutely. So going back to the question earlier, so let's say that you end up picking the Ink Unlimited.
Hmm.
All right, and again, the goal is property tax. So, what is your rule of thumb regarding? Okay, today is October 28th. You applied for the Ink Unlimited. You got approved. Okay, what is your rule of thumb? Your suggestion as far as, because we told them, guys, you can have all three or all four ink cards.
Hmm.
What is the waiting period in between that you would suggest before you throttle and apply for another ink card?
Yeah. So rule of thumb, you know, the credit card game, it's I consider it a marathon and not a sprint. I know that's something that a lot of people will say. Um, my rule of thumb for myself is 30 days in between credit card applications. And there have been plenty of people who've been successful waiting a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to apply. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's all about risk assessment and how
Yeah,
risk adverse you are, right? Because the longer you wait, the less likely you'll get a denial. I mean, I'm not saying you will get approved, but I'm saying there's a less likely chance.
right.
And that's like the 524 rule. All these little rules is to protect these institutions, right? So it's their risk assessment. They don't want to give you too much credit too fast, because that to them is a risky behavior. So, deciding on your timing is important to their risk assessment. So I would say 30 days is what I would feel safe with. And if you're a risk taker and you want to go less than that, then I support you.
Yeah, we've also, and I'm sure you've read it as well, the rule of 2/30,
Yeah,
like
the
two card approvals within 30 days. And I know that I've heard that, and so some folks do that. I have not been that aggressive with things in a long time. I got my Chase Inc. Business Preferred back in September, early September. Just 3 months, a little over 3 months before that, mid May, I got the Chase Inc. Cash. And then I think the Southwest Business Card, October of last year. So, I mean, I've really been pacing myself. And again, we are in a my wife is my P2, but even I've got my son and my daughter. They're not applying for every single card, but they have their own CSP. My son has a Marriott card now when they were giving away those 5 free nights. And so I think that's just kept us afloat enough to not apply as constantly as possible. And so right now, I mean, with my last little fiasco about a month ago, which is
yeah,
beginning in September, um, I'm still planning on just keeping quiet for now. Because, and to be perfectly honest with you, I have all 3 cards right now, and I got them all within the past year. The preferred, the preferred is actually my third card. I'm sorry. The Ink Business Preferred is actually my third Ink Preferred card,
yeah,
and then the Ink Cash and the Ink Unlimited, I also got them just within the past year. So I'm not even eligible to reapply at this point. Put it
yeah,
that way. It hasn't been 24 months. But what I haven't um, revisited is Nancy's bonus history. I need to double check if she is eligible to reapply for one or maybe another card. So I'll need to
yeah.
double check. I mean, how about you?
Just
Besides your preferred that you just got, are you eligible for another Ink Cash or Ink Unlimited anytime soon?
Yeah, I think I am eligible for another Ink Cash. And I think I applied within 6 months of each other of my Chasing Cash and Chasing Unlimited of my most recent round. So I think my Chasing Cash and Unlimited are coming up here pretty soon. So I'll be able to work through those and generate a ton of points. And then I think my Sapphire is coming up in the next couple months too. So I'm in a really good spot. In 2019, I really went hard and really got a lot of great offers. And I
Nice.
mean, and going back to that point, of you slowing down with Chase and you kind of just relaxing a little bit. And for us, you and we're in a very different stage of the game than a lot of people.
Mhm, mhm.
And
Right, absolutely.
I personally, just me, I have over 20 credit cards to my name, both business and personal. And, that's not even including my wife. Um, if you're starting out, I mean, I'm talking about my personal experience. Starting out, as soon as I understood the game, as soon as I understood what kind of doors credit card points can open in terms of travel for me, I just became obsessed. I'm like, oh man, there are so many offers. Let's start going for cards. But luckily I had a friend who was a veteran in the game. You know,
Yeah.
the ropes. Because I also learned from someone else, right? I want to share that, there is no reason for you to rush through and sign up for as many credit cards as possible, because credit card offers go up and down all of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Mm-hmm.
feel bad for missing an offer because you were ineligible. It's always better to catch it again next time than just
Right.
keep denied over and over,
Yep.
because that's gonna hurt your credit score. Getting denied, those hard inquiries, they add up. So just make sure that the card that you're applying for, the offer that you're looking at, has a good value, right? Just because something says 150,000 points, what is that in cash value, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like the cards that we're talking about today, the Chase Inc. Cash and Chase Inc. Business Unlimited, these two offers are at 90K. But what does that really mean? What can you get with 90K? For 90K, I can get a lot. I can get a lot with 90K, right? Uh, I don't know about you. I would immediately jump on this 90K offer. And if I don't have a Chase Ink card, if I was eyeing these cards, I would immediately jump on it right now.
Absolutely. No.
I know I always it's beating like a dead horse in terms of my, you know, how I would spend it. But my general example I always use is Hawaii, because A, that's what I'm familiar with. B, I've been there way too many times. But right, 90 90K. What can you get? You can get almost 8 whole days in Hawaii on points. 8 days
Right.
ain't cheap, right? 8 days isn't cheap. So I don't know. What would you spend 90,000 points on, Jason?
Oh my gosh. Besides Hawaii, obviously, um, it's the top of Japan, for
Yeah,
instance. We are seeing great rates for Japan. And well, the ones that are coming out lately, that have come out lately, and again, I'm thinking budget wise. All right, I'm thinking very budget wise. I'm thinking as a family man. I'm thinking as someone who's got extended family. I mean, to those who do not know, just a few months before the pandemic, 19 members of my family flew to Japan. Someone from London flew to Japan. 12 of us from LA flew to Japan. A good handful from the Philippines flew to Japan. We all met and congregated in Japan. 19 of us.
a
The
lot.
Americans, 12 of us, all individually applied for a CSP and CSR. Basically, I educated them, and we found an amazing deal of around, let's just say, $500 if we were paying in cash.
Yeah,
All right. But because we had points with Chase, I think we only ended up using about 39 or 37,000 points per person.
yeah,
So let's just pretend for a moment. And the reason why I brought that up is because about a week ago, I posted something where there were flights to Japan from American or Delta or Japan Airlines around $560, let's just say. All
yeah,
right. Um, if you find those airfares using your CSP or your CSR, again, the points that Fee and I are talking about here, your Ink Unlimited and your Ink Cash, you can transfer those to your CSP or to your CSR or your Chase Ink Business Preferred, and you can transfer them to travel partners, or you can also book directly using the Chase portal.
yeah,
And so what we did was some of us used the CSP because they only had a CSP. My wife and I and a couple of others, we had points using our CSR, which we had a better redemption value. And so again, with 90,000, to your point, that's nearly 3 tickets.
yeah,
And so that's the beauty of it is that again, we were able to make something happen for the family, and again with Japan reopening, I can't wait to be back. I'm
Oh yeah, I
hoping
mean,
to fly. I'm hoping to fly more than coach next time. Because I
yeah.
have something with American Express though. But on the budget side, there are ways to use your points with Chase on the budget side by going to Japan, for instance.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you know, travel isn't cheap, right? You got not only airfare, you got hotel, right? And in the points game, sure, you may not be able to cover both flights and hotel on points, but if you can just do one or the other, it really does alleviate the stress and cost of travel. And I was just looking, I was just doing random searches on Hyatt here just for fun. You know, with those 90,000 points, I can get 11 nights at the Hyatt Regency in Osaka. Like, right?
That's
You
that's
go to
crazy. 11
Japan,
nights. Oh my gosh.
that's gonna be so expensive. I gotta pay for airfare and hotel, like, and getting around and food, all that stuff. But hey, if you can get 11 nights paid for off of the 90,000 points, isn't it so much less stressful to think about, okay, now all I gotta pay for is flights, right? I have my hotel.
Absolutely. Right. And to
So
your point, you know what? Oh, that airfare that Jason or Fee just posted a couple of weeks ago, the one for 529 or whatever it was, maybe
yeah.
that's the one that you might want to pay in cash, and the
Mhm.
rest you can just use for accommodations and transfer them to something like a Hyatt.
Yeah, and this isn't even like, this isn't like one of those unnamed random sketchy hotels. This is a Hyatt Regency
Mhm. Mhm.
in one of the top three places to visit in Japan, right? And you know, I've been doing a lot of hotel searches, and you can really get so much value.
Absolutely.
People think you need a million points to get like
No,
one vacation. Absolutely not. Like I'm showing you right here, 90,000 points, 11 days in Japan.
that's crazy. That's
And this is
amazing.
zero annual fee card. You have literally nothing to invest in except that $6,000 that you were gonna spend, on bills anyways. You're paying for bills. You might as well get rewarded, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, again, there's so many ways to skin a cat. As everybody knows, it wasn't until lately when we began uh, booking first and business class. And again, it's great and all, and I will continue to treat ourselves, but really, for us, flying coach is not an issue. And so Nancy and I, we've flown to Peru using our points with our CSR, the ultimate rewards. I think we only use, I want to say, oh, and it was even, actually, you know what? Here I am. We use about 44,000 points round trip business class with Aeromexico. I mean, it's not Q Suites, but to be flying business class round trip for 44K to Peru.
Wow.
That was a lot of fun. We've done Cathay Pacific on Coach. I mean, you just cannot complain. We've done Singapore Airlines on Coach. We went to Bali, to Singapore, to Hong Kong, to Barcelona on Coach. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, there's really so many ways that we have done this on a budget side without hurting our wallets. And so it's just all about being creative,
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
It's really opened so many doors for me and my family. And all the time, this isn't our full-time job. Like I don't I don't do points full time. Like I'm not the points guy, right? You have those big names in the world of credit cards that this is their career. This is what they live, eat, and breathe every single day. We don't do. I mean, you and I, we have to stay on top of our game, every single day with new information coming in. But that's just what we have to do to
That's
stay
it.
and knowledgeable to
Right.
share with our audience. But this isn't something that we do on a 24 hour.
No.
And you and I both have jobs, families. We're normal everyday people, right? Like I'm not I'm not sponsored by any credit card company. I'm not, they're not paying me to tell you these things. Yes, they're paying me if you're using my affiliate links, but I'm not, they're not paying me a salary. They're not,
Absolutely, absolutely. No, and to your point, I mean, there's so much information out there, and between me and you, we would message each other. Oh, did you see this? We have that mutual understanding. Here, share this, and I'll share it on mine. And then so I think because it's what we like to do, and I think what I like to do best is I like sharing the things that I know resonate with me,
hmm
because there's just so many deals out there. But because if I were to share a deal that I don't even believe in, or I mean, I think I like sharing something that, hey, I at least have a good clue what it's about. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't want to just share for the sake of sharing. So I like sharing things that, hey, I know what this is. So if they ask me something, I can at least try and be intelligent enough to respond to them. So because there was another question, very good question actually from Jing. How long do these offers usually last? Oh, Fee. I mean, you go. I mean, I have my own. Um,
Um, I wish I had a crystal ball to have all this information because it would be super useful, right? But we don't. The
yeah.
information shared to us, we Jason and I, we don't get a lot of proprietary information. We don't have a lot of information that we're keeping from you guys for
We,
ourselves.
we, we don't have a conference call, nothing like that.
No, we're not signing an NDA or anything like that. Like, oh, you can't share this with people. Like, no, it's this is the information we're given, and this is the information we're sharing with you. Just like our audience, you and I are active players in this credit card game, so we get as much information as we're sharing. Um, in terms of how long these offers last, they generally won't publish it at the beginning of when these offers come out.
Right.
Over time, they may update the website, or you may get an email that says, "Oh, hey, the limited time offer is running out. This offer will end, at this date." So as the offer, you know, ages, we'll slowly get more information that we can share with you guys, whether someone shares it with us or we come across it, just naturally, scrolling through the internet. But you know, if you want to say it will be here within the next 3 or 4 weeks, I would support that because that seems like a very healthy time for an offer like this to stay around for. I know it's a new and very exciting offer, so I know they're not going to want to pull the rug soon. But I think from a marketing perspective, it might be one of those, as soon as they reach a certain threshold of applications, they might
Mhm.
start pulling it off the market. So, like I said, we don't know. So, if you're ready to go for it, I would grab it now before it's gone because we don't know if they're gonna pull it tomorrow or not, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And another great question that I know I got asked today, once everybody found out that, when I published my affiliate link, and I'm sure you probably would ask the same thing, is, hey, I went and tried to generate my own personal referral, but my personal referral is using the same old bonus of 75,000 points. So the question is, will the personal referral ever have the same um, 90,000 bonus points offer? And here's my take on that. I have seen these offers first available to folks like Fee and I. We've got the affiliate link, and then a few weeks later, maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks later, without mentioning a specific date or anything like that, the personal referrals become active. But is that guaranteed? No.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I forget what card it was. Was it maybe it was the Marriott Boundless the one with the 5 free nights back in the spring, summer when
Yeah.
that came out. I think that that was only available via affiliates. I do not think that was ever available from personal referrals. Do you recall that?
Yeah, yeah, I do recall that, and like you said, a lot of the offers do not go. A lot of the offers either stay public or they go public and affiliate links, and sometimes they may never go through the referral. And you
Yeah.
see a lot with issuers like Amex. Amex is very notorious for this. Um, Sometimes they'll have, three different offers available out there for the same product. So you have to be diligent in finding the best offer, because the public offer might not be the best offer. So if you guys have ever, have concerns or want to make sure that you're getting the best offer, just ask Jason and I, just shoot us a message and we're point you in the right direction. But
Absolutely.
in terms of, oh, will these offer ever go into the personal referrals? um, I want to say likely, but there are no guarantees, right? We just only time will tell, or unless maybe someone in the audience works in Chase's marketing department, they can shed some light. But we can't give you a for sure answer, because honestly, we just don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why, I mean, I think, if not that I intended for us to spend a lot of time on referrals, but I think if there's even something I'd like to make sure we impart with everybody here is, if you are in a position and you're deciding, you know what, my personal referral link is still not working, I'm just gonna have my friend apply for the card. If your friend decides to Google that card and get the 90,000 bonus offer, more power to him or her, okay? Because your friend gets the 90K offer. However, if there is something I'd like to remind everybody is, uh, by your friend Googling, researching for a link on the internet and applying for it, one way I'd like to put it simply is, we let the banks win, because no one is benefiting, like no one is getting any kind of incentive by your friend going directly to Google,
Yeah,
right? Or if you tell your friend, you know what, just go to the bank and apply there, maybe the banker will get some kind of an incentive, right? But but if there's anything, think about folks like Fee and myself. Again, we are not the points guy, like Brian Kelly a lot, nothing against him, but we are not a multi-million-dollar company. But if you do appreciate the content that folks like Fee and myself provide, that's really, if there was any kind of consolation, because um, that's the only way we get compensated, if anything, is we appreciate everyone chiming in, joining in on the conversation on our Facebook groups or on our Instagram, etc. But when it comes to um, using our links, that's really a great way of encouraging us, because it does help us. It incentivizes us, and so we really appreciate it if you guys consider, instead of using Google, please feel free to reach out and ask.
I think you cut out there a
We
little
have
bit,
a
or
link,
maybe I cut out.
and we know. Okay. Okay.
Sorry,
Can you
I
hear
don't
me?
know if you
Okay.
cut out or I cut out, but
All right.
um,
Can you
you still
hear
there?
me? Yeah, I am.
I think you came back. But yeah, I mean, just
Okay.
to reiterate, Jason and I don't get paid to run our Facebook page. We don't get paid to answer, questions. We don't get paid to write blog and hotel reviews. We literally just do that because we want to do that, right? So, and I mean, it's nice to get, rewarded through you guys as signing up through our affiliate links. But I hate feeling like, I'm begging people to do it, because I don't want them to feel pressured, right? So
Right.
it's nice for you guys to do that for us, but I don't want you guys to feel like we're begging you guys to do that.
Right.
It's just a nice thing to help us out. So,
Right. Oh,
but yeah,
and one thing, I think one thing I'd like for us to remind folks, because some of them are, because of how personable we are.
mm,
Guys, Fee and I, we do not get a spreadsheet. We do not get a PowerPoint report of, oh my gosh, Jeff Hancock and Drew Jeske and Derek Chen applied and got denied. We
hey,
don't get a
points. I would love that type.
no, we don't get any report because folks will tell me, Jason, I use your link, which is I'm very, very thankful for. I hope you get you get a referral bonus out of it. Again, I will not know. I mean, I'm glad to that you guys are letting me know,
Yeah,
because that's a good validation that that you're supporting me, you're supporting folks like me and Fee. But to be honest with you guys, if I do get a bonus out of it, it does not tell me that, oh, in the month of September, Derek applied for 2 cards and used your link. There is no such report. Everything is confidential. I will not know if you got approved. I will not know if you even went to the website. It will not give me any kind of data like that. It'll just tell me that, hey, someone used your Sapphire Preferred link, and here's the incentive. That's it. That's all. Someone
yeah,
use your Freedom link or your Ink link. So, but that's everything is strictly confidential,
yeah.
right? So, um, we've been chatting for a while now, and I don't want to take too much more of your time because I know I just pinged you at the very last minute. But let's just do a quick recap about those
Sure.
3 cards again, and let's invite them to our channels. Fee. So you want to do a quick recap about those 2 cards?
Yeah, right now the Chase Ink Cash and the Chase Ink Business Unlimited. These are both business cards, but like I said, anyone can apply for them. You can get a limited time 90,000 point offer after you spend $6,000 in 3 months. And like I said, this is for me a minimum of $1,000 in value. Um, they're great cards, no annual fee. If you guys were considering it or on the fence, now is a great time to go grab that offer because it is a limited time offer. So if you guys have questions, if you guys have concerns, or want to apply and want us to help you guys get through that process, please do shoot me or Jason a message, and I'm sure we're both glad to help you get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, I can't stress enough what Fee just mentioned. Again, it's a brand new offer. Again, we don't know when it will end, but if you are in a position to apply or reapply, again, there are caveats as far as what will qualify you or disqualify you. If you're just tuning in to the Facebook Live segment, this will be reshared, and so you're going to be able to watch it again later. Um, and please continue to support folks like me and Fee Cow right here. He is at Untold Miles on Instagram. He is also on Facebook with a group of over 20,000 members, also known simply as Untold Miles. Also has a blog, untoldmiles.com. So please follow him, support him just like the way that he supports me by joining lives like this with me, and it's really good of strengthening our ties with our communities. So,
Yeah.
me, time to sign off. Any plans tonight?
Yeah, we're going up north to Flagstaff, Arizona, this weekend. So it's gonna be like about 26 at night there. So we're just gonna start packing and trying to keep warm on our
Okay,
weekend. How about you?
gotcha.
Any?
I'm meeting a good friend. In fact, another member right here on Facebook, and also has got a
Another meet?
great following. I'm sorry, what?
I said another meet and greet.
I know there's going to be another meet and greet. Actually, I think there might be 3 meets and greets. So I mean, what I like about it, honestly, is these folks reached out,
Yeah.
and I also reached back, obviously, because I do know that they live in the area, and it's one of those where um, I'm available, they're available, and it's my first time here in Chicago ever, in Illinois ever in my life, and so might as well meet them, even for a quick hi and hello or a cup of coffee. That's really all I'm asking. There is someone who I actually met not online. It wasn't that we met online, but we were on another not a Facebook group, like a news group in the '90s. And so I've known him for nearly 30 years, and we're
Wow.
gonna meet for the first time. And so it's that's what the internet does. And so yeah, I'm gonna meet like three folks this weekend, and I'm really excited about that. So
Well,
and
jealous.
more food. I'm sorry, what?
I'm jealous. I still haven't been able to meet you in person yet.
And I know we're gonna meet, and we're probably gonna see each other. Someone's like, me?
Hey,
I'm gonna see you at Walmart.
it's just when I visit LA somewhere, like
I
didn't talk
know.
like that. Oh yeah,
That'll be,
Jason over there is gonna be paying for my table too.
oh my gosh, that'll be hilarious. That's too funny. All right. Well, you go enjoy packing, man. I mean, are you guys driving or what is that? Is that a drive? What is that?
Yeah, it's a short 2.5 hour drive. I'm actually going there to burn one of my free night certificates with Marriott because it's expiring, and I was like, well,
Might
there's
as
not
well
much
use it.
to wear, so I mean, hey, it's I'm paying $175 annual fee for that card, and I'm getting a $400 room, so
That
works out.
right. This is my $49 living room, and the bedroom is right there. Oh my gosh! You know what? I
Yeah,
I already have a video that I'm gonna upload later on YouTube and share that with everybody. So that will be, you know what, Fee? Maybe maybe next week. Let's do a. This is where I spent my free night certificate at, or something like that. Because folks are forgetting to use their free night certificate, and some of them get extended, which is great, and some of
yeah,
them don't. So maybe we should do something like that, and review a few of those cards that offer a free night certificate. So,
yeah.
all right,
Good
man.
to
Well,
meet
you
you.
get packing. Yeah, you get packing.
All right, well, enjoy Chicago.
I will, man. All right, take care, guys. We'll talk to you all later. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, me. Alrighty. Bye bye.